So here we are ready to do 2025, and 2025 presents an entirely new set of issues compared to 24 and 23. If you haven't already taken a look at my 2023 analysis for the rest of the year, for third and fourth quarter, and for total year, or looked at the 2024 analysis, you might want to go back and take a look at that. You can do that now, you can do that after. Doesn't really make a lot of difference, I suppose. Those are both available, and later on I will try to remember to put up a couple of cards for those, or you can just go back into the channel and you can find them easy enough, because I think one was Saturday and one was Sunday. I think that's pretty right. So anyway, they're really easy to find. So this is Randy Kirk. We are going to talk about 2025. If you would like to hit like, you could do that now. You could hit subscribe and notify. Maybe you've never done that before. This would be a good time to do it for the first time. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe you haven't heard about these yet. And at the end of the show, I'll tell you all about them because they're so cool. Anyway, and then Patreon, there's a whole story that goes with Patreon on that one as well. All right, so let's get into 2025. Now, first of all, let me make the caveat. I do not do detailed forecasting. Okay, I do broad forecasting, and that is basically because after doing my own companies and people that I've consulted with over the last many decades, I have come to the conclusion that getting down into the nitty gritty and trying to figure out, how many will we sell here and how many will sell in, like how many Model Ys are we going to sell in, I don't know, Singapore? How many are we going to sell in Australia? How many are we going to sell in Thailand? How many are we going to sell in Turkey? I don't know. I have less of a speculation on how many of those cars will sell in those markets than I do on the broad number, because we have a broad number that we think we can produce. And right now, it looks like there's no reason why we won't sell all that we can produce most years. This year being the exception. I think Tesla could have produced more, but they knew that they would have a hard time selling as many as they could produce this year. That's my speculation. I could be totally wrong, but I believe that they have been sandbagging Model Y in Austin and in Berlin because they knew there just wasn't the demand right now at those levels. There was plenty of demand to get them another 50% increase this year compared to last year, but not enough demand to cover another couple 100,000 cars that they probably could have made if they really wanted to. All right, so let's now talk about what is so different about 2025. Well, here's the list. Here's a list of differences. In 2024, everybody is speculating that there will be additional capacity put in Shanghai. But I don't think anybody thinks there'll be any significant production in Shanghai in 2024. But if there is additional production capacity added, one way or the other, whether that's changing the arrangement of the floor, whether that is unboxed methodology, whether that is putting up an entirely new facility, I don't know what, but pretty much everybody thinks that's what's going to happen one way or the other, then that Shanghai capacity will start to come on in 2025. But how to speculate? Because why? We don't have a clue. We do not have a statement from ownership in terms of what's going to take place. Additional Austin. We know that there's additional capacity in Austin and additional capacity intended to be built. Model Y is supposed to be able to do 1 million units at Austin. Well, okay, when does that take place? How is that something that's going to happen within the existing bounds of the facility? I don't know. Do you know? We don't know. So that would be coming on sometime maybe in 2024. And I'm kind of thinking there might be a little bit in 2024, but by 2025, it should be starting to come on, but I can't put it in the numbers yet. Additional Berlin. How about just repeat? We do know that a building is being built. We do know that building, based on how long it takes Berlin to do things, probably won't get a first out until 2025, but then it can start to ramp some significant numbers, but we don't know. So I'm not putting any significant numbers in for Berlin in over and above the 500,000 Model Ys that they are currently slated to be able to make. I believe they're going to make Model 3s in Berlin. I think they might make Model 3s in Austin, or they might move additional Model 3s to Fremont and move more Model Ys to Austin. One way or the other, I think they're going to need more Model 3s. All right, Mexico. As far as we're concerned, as far as I'm concerned, it's still a go. And so will they make any in 2024? Absolutely not. Not one. Not one car. But by 2025, they might be making cars. That also brings up the question in Austin, will they be making any Gen 3 cars in 2024 in Austin? My best guess, yes, but all I got is what Isaacson said that Elon said in the book. I don't have anything clearly setting out that Austin will be making Model 3s. Now we go to India. India probably be a decision soon, probably a decision. Maybe it won't be the first quarter. So yeah, India's out for 2024, but could there be some cars being made in India by the end of 2025? Absolutely. How about other factories? How about South Korea? North Korea, that would be one. How about South Korea? How about Saudi Arabia? How about Turkey? How about Israel? How about France? How many more can we list? South America someplace? Africa someplace? I mean, a lot of these, Elon says he wants to have a factory on every continent. We don't have one in South America or Africa even being talked about at this point. If Saudi Arabia is going to be the African, I don't think so. That's not a very good place to ship from. Anyway, and I've already mentioned, maybe it hasn't been published yet, but I know I've made it clear. I think Saudi Arabia is a very bad idea. Other megapack factories, I believe there will be multiple other megapack factories by 2025, fully ramped by 2025. Why? Because it only takes 9 months to set one up, and they could have 2 more that are half ramped right now. We wouldn't even know it because they don't take up a lot of space. You don't have to build a building. You can buy a building. I mean, there's a lot of reasons, but I think there's a very good chance that we will have a total of 4 megapack factories fully ramped in 2025, or at least very close to fully ramped in 2025. And they might be increasing the capacity of the existing facilities in Lathrop or in Shanghai as well. That's another possibility. Then we got Optimus. Well, you know how I feel about Optimus. Well, Optimus in 2023, November, we start making them. That's what Elon said. And if we start making them, and if he means making them, we're not really sure what he meant by making them. Does that mean the line is going to be ready to go? Some kind of a pilot line or one station? The capacity to make, I don't know, 100 a week or something will be done in November? Or does it just mean that the entire structure, every part and piece will be signed off on, and now we will start making the tooling? And then after we make the tooling, while we're making the tooling, we'll be making the line. And so somewhere roughly 3 to 6 months from now, we'll start producing product. That's very possible. But whatever it is, if he really believes, and he didn't say maybe, or I think that there's a really good chance, he said, no, we're making them starting in November. So I think in 2025, we'll be making units. We'll be making buku. How can I put anything in? I can't, it's hard to put anything in for 2025, but I'm betting personally that they'll be making lots of robots in 2025. By the way, there's a 2026 video that's already out there, and I'll be redoing that shortly. In 2026, I'm assuming lots of bots. So you may want to take a look at that video, go back and look at it, or later this week, I'll probably do the 2026 video again. All right, then we've got FSD. Could happen tomorrow. The announcement could happen a week from Monday. The announcement could happen at the end of the year. We could have an AI day in 2024, early 2024, where it's announced that FSD is now 100%, and Elon drives it from coast to coast without ever having an intervention. But we don't know. If FSD happens, we'll have FSD, we'll have FSD subscriptions, we'll have Robotaxi. All 3 of those things will happen. And so, boy, those will be massive numbers to add to the 2025 situation, and maybe even some decent numbers in 2024. I can't put them into 2025 yet because what do we know? We don't know really anything yet until we have the day when we're driving that thing around and there's no interventions. Then we got DOJO as a service. No chance in 2024, in my opinion, but by 2025 could be a significant additional revenue source with massive profits. So all of these things are possible. Is this hard to think about? Okay, so I'm sorry, no base case yet. Got to go to the bear case first. Okay, in the bear case, without getting into the details, I did break this out by quarter. So you've got Fremont, you can see right around 150, 160,000 per month. And so for a total of 635,000, that would be like right now, that would be max. Now, between now and then, they might start to squeeze out some more. They just put up a new tent. Maybe that'll really be significant in terms of what it can produce. I don't know, because nobody has said. So for 2025, I'm assuming Fremont is still maxed out somewhere around 635. For Shanghai, right now they're maxed out around 1,000,001. I'm figuring, okay, they're going to be still maxed out until then, unless we hear that they're switching over to Gen 3, or they've got a new facility, or they're adding on somehow up or out or something to the facility they have. I don't know. So right now I'm going with Shanghai at just 1,000,001. Austin, I'm giving that about 500,000 worth of Model Y and 290,000 worth of Cybertruck in 2025. Both of those numbers could be significantly higher. So this is a fairly conservative number for 2025. Berlin, you're seeing 510,000. I'm assuming that is either all Model Ys or some combination of Model Y and Model 3. I am not figuring anything at all for Gen 3 in 2025, although they could be making lots by 2025 if Berlin doesn't slow them down too much on building these new facilities that they're about ready to put up. And then other factories, I have a minor build, 20,000 in the first quarter, 50,000 in the second quarter, 7,500. So between all of those places that we just had on that list, additional Shanghai, additional Austin, all that stuff that we went through, between all of those, I'm saying maybe we get 245,000 cars for the year, giving us 3.290. Now, this is the bear case. And 3.290, if we end up with 1.9 in 2023, 50% of that would be 2.7, roughly. Another 50% on top of that would be more than, so the 2.7 and 1.3 is almost 4 million, okay? So I'm way below the 50% increase for 2025 on the bear case. Now, if you throw that into some dollars, and we're just going to say that because this is still almost all Model Ys, Model 3s, S's, X's, and Cybertruck, I'm going to say that the average selling cost stays about the same. We're not really building in a lot of Gen 3 cars here. So I'm saying it stays about the same. And then the margins will be going up, okay, on the bear case. I'm getting in 2025 now. Believe me, I don't think this is true. But in 2025, I'm saying, oh, well, we'll get back up to 20%. This is the bear case. All right. And there's the total gross profit. All right. Now we've got energy profit moving up based on getting to 2 factories. All right. By the end of the year, not 4, which is what I think it'll be. Other profit from all kinds of the different revenue streams, insurance and everything else. I think this number is way too low, but we're going to put 7 billion in profit from all other services and products and everything else. Semi, we're going to start. So Elon says he was going to make 40,000 semis in 2024. He moved that an entire year. We have not seen a groundbreaking in Reno yet, but it shouldn't, once that happens, shouldn't be very long before they've got that facility built and ready to make those trucks. So I think that we will see profits from semi, but you'll notice it's only 100 million in the first quarter, going up to 600 million in the fourth quarter, a total of 1.4 billion for the year. That's not a lot of semi trucks. Okay. So that's a pretty low number. All right. So total profit then of 44.7, take away the overhead at 13.7. This gives you a gap of 31 billion. So now what do we compare that to? Well, that would be 30%, 31% of Apple. That would be 2.5 times General Motors or Ford. So now we begin to see why people are putting the high multiple on, because with just this growth, and this is not the growth that I'm expecting, probably not the growth you're expecting, not the growth that Tesla's expecting. So because I can't put these other ones in, that's about as far as we can get. Now, the EPS on this becomes $9 a share. If you multiply that times 80, you're looking at $700. Okay, so when I say that I think that Tesla will be $700 by the end of 2024, there you go. That's on the bear case. All right, let's move up to the bull case. I'm sticking with my, look at this. This is probably an error right here. I got Shanghai still at less than I did on the bear case. So maybe we have to add a 10 or 20,000 here. Anyway, but I've got Fremont and Shanghai, basically sold out. I've got Austin with a little more. I've got Berlin basically sold out. Other factories a little more than what I did before. So now we're still at 3.4, which is still not the roughly, let's say 4 million, that because this is not a bull case, this is a base case. I haven't done the bull case yet. I really want to get more information about 2025 and about what's going to be built and what's not going to be built before I do the bull case. The bull case should probably be at 4 billion cars. All right, now let's take a quick look. We won't spend a lot of time on this, but now I'm saying that the average selling cost is up just a little bit. You see that the margins are up a lot. These are taking us back to real margins, which by 2025, I'm assuming will definitely happen. Then you've got the energy profit, which is stronger than what I showed you a minute ago. This is not only fully ramped, but this is with some product coming in from at least one more megapack factory. I got other profit at about the same numbers I did down there, and semi just a little bit more, I think, than what I put down below. All right, so total profit at 54, overhead at 13.7, gap at 40 billion. So now this gap is 40% of an Apple in 2025, 40% of where they are today, but they only grew 1% last year. So this is 40% of Apple in 2025 with an EPS of 12. Now, if you multiply that times 80, now you're talking about $960 a share. Yeah. Okay. If you, yeah. So I'm sorry, did I do that right? I'm sorry, 1186, $12 times 80, yeah, $960 a share. So if you only do it times 5, it's 550, 500, and almost $600, call it $600. So yeah, there you are. This is 2025. I think it justifies the numbers that I've been saying of $400 by the end of January, $700 by the end of the year. This is not investment advice. These numbers have nothing to do with FSD, with Robotaxi, with Optimus, with DOJO as a service. They are very, very conservative. The base case, super conservative still. Don't you think it's conservative? Let me know in the comments below. So I know that you want to join Patreon, and I don't know why you haven't done it already. $5 a month, and you can be a producer on this show. There you go. $10 a month, you not only become an important producer on the show, but you also get one of these for free. Now, what in the heck is one of these? Some of you know already, and if you already know all about it, this is where you can turn off the, hit like before you go, hit like, subscribe, notify before you go. But I'm not going to say anything else other than commercial on the Robotruck here, Cybertruck. Anyway, this is a bottle opener. You see it's a bottle opener? It is heavy duty, 9 ounces, 3 millimeter stainless steel, the same as the truck. It's clever as heck, looks great. It comes packaged in this beautiful Apple-like box. I don't know why I always call it an Apple-like box, but it just is. When you get it, you go, oh my, is this nice or what? Magnetic closure, and it comes in camo, as you can see, which you'd always, when you order these, please always say camo or stainless. Really saves everybody a lot of time. So people are starting to order these in very large multiples. I keep getting requests now for much larger numbers. People are giving them to their entire office. People are giving them to everybody in their company. People are giving them to all their friends and enemies. It is a great, so, oh yeah, what does it cost? They're $25 a piece. Now it's up on Amazon. And by the way, this I think is the first product I've ever put up on Amazon. And I have a number of products on Amazon. This is the first one that has ever sold product within the first 24 hours. Last time I checked, I had 2 orders, one for 2 and one for 1 in the first 24 hours on Amazon. Never seen that before. Usually it's not until the advertising comes in, and my advertising will start probably in the next day or two. I have a guy that does that for me, and it takes a couple of days to get that going. So without any advertising, just putting it up, just the keywords alone, got 2 orders in the first 24 hours. Never seen that before. Anyway, I put it at $29.95. Obviously, people think it's worth $29.95, but you can get it for $25. And that's $25 each. That counts your freight. So you just, if you're in the United States, $25 times however many you want. If you want 10 or more, give me a buzz, give me a nod. Find my email. Check with me on X. I'm still wide open on X. You can DM me there. And I'm a completely open book. You can find, just put in Randy Kirk and it's me and a football player. That's it. And we dominate the first multiple pages. So you can find, it's not hard to find me. So if you have the book, my email's in the book. So if you want more than 10, get in touch with me. Let's talk about a price for more than 10. And then if you want to join Patreon at the $10 level, then guess what? You get one for free. How's that? All right. That's it. I think that's all I have to say to you today about all of this. And as usual, it has been great talking to you.